Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is the second of many Kokopelli Instagram Lives, and thanks for joining us again. For the next several weeks, we're going to be transporting to Packrafting locations around the world, destinations from the jungles of Costa Rica today, Slovenia, Florida, my friends in Jamaica, Montana, Arizona, Oregon, and Durango, Colorado. We'll also have some affiliates on here that will join us. Some of our affiliates, Hannah Reeves, Stephen Donovan. Stephen's a GoPro whiz. So before we get going on the show today, some of the things we wanted to talk about, just some of the Instagram Kokopelli live show goals. You know, one of the first goal for us is to grow pack rafting worldwide. It's what we do. It's what we love to do. We wake up every day doing it. The second is to showcase new pack rafting destinations around the world. That we get to do with our partners, and it's pretty good looking at 2021, all the new spots opening up for pack rafting worldwide. Third goal is to help the pack rafting community plan their own trips, provide some resources for partnering with a guide, either locally or internationally. And the fourth goal we have is we want to highlight our commercial guides and professional partners that we currently work with. We thank them for doing business with us, supporting us, and believing into the products we make. Thanks again. I want to start by thanking a few people. Always, I want to thank my team. Kelly, he's the vision of the brand. Zach, he's a badass whitewater boat designer, a tester. If you want to see some great pack rafting carnage videos, log on to Zach's Instagram page at Zach Righteous. And Alex for always keeping us looking sharp. All of them for all their hard work and tough times. And it's amazing to be part of this team. And thank you all for supporting us. Please check out our Wild Traverse magazine on the Kokopelli website. It's up right now. We have some pack rafting stories about pack rafting in South Africa on the Orange River, the Socha River in Slovenia, and that was written by Zach. That's at Zach Righteous again. And bike rafting in Florida and Wekiva Swamps by Abby Lou Scott, and an awesome Iceland expedition by Joey Schuessler. Be sure to check it out. Some good inspiration and kind of showing the world what pack rafting, how it's growing into the East Coast, into the swamps. Not just something in the Pacific Northwest that we've seen years on end, is it's usually from Alaska to Colorado. You know, with Kokopelli, we've taken a lot of steps this year to expand and kind of go eastward and go to the Southeast, you know, go into maritime, different environments that pack rafts typically haven't been in yet. So thanks for supporting us. So, you know, even through all this pandemic, we are always working on new projects, boat designs, accessory ideas. R&D never ends, and it's one of our favorite things to do. Big announcement, we currently have all of our 2020 inventory available on our website nationwide. So if you do need a boat, we do have all the boats available. Please check out our website. Thanks to all the people working on the front lines all over the world. Big ups to all the doctors, nurses, firefighters, law enforcement, military members stepping up right now in their communities and worldwide. I want to give a special shout out to some Kokopelli friends, Keith Buckles and Ben Wilkes, two personal friends of mine, for being doctors on the front lines throughout this. Blue Ridge Outdoors, writers Ellen Katzinger and Shannon McGowan. Great writers, great magazine, and great ladies. Thank you so much for working with us. Ben Meyer and Carlos Bernhardt. Check out Ben Meyer at BenMeyer85 and Carlos Bernhardt at Single Track Samurai on Instagram. These are our Florida crew. They're helping develop pack rafting down south. I'm a Floridian, and I consider the Sunshine State the last frontier for pack rafting in America. It's sunny, hot, beautiful, and the wildlife can kill you, so it's full package if you like it. Also, we want to thank the 10th Special Forces, Joey Schuessler. Big up yourself, Joey Schuessler, for all the hard work you put in for us and all the great articles you've written and taken photos of. Joshua Blue, if you want to check out some great Instagram videos of whitewater testing in the Nirvana series, he's got a cool video posted up on his Instagram, and that's at Joshua Blue 7. Stephen Donovan, that's at ES_Dons, ES_Dons. He's a GoPro Max wizard, good dude. You've probably seen his videos from high diving, some on Yosemite. He makes some of the coolest stories in the GoPro catalog right now, in my opinion, so check him out. So today we're going to bring in our Costa Rican partners, our buddies. His name is Tom Ranieri, who runs the Packrafting Outdoor Center. He's got a hell of a team, personal friends, all of them. Tom, Luigi, Marlon, Popeye, big up yourselves. Tom's an expat, Floridian, who started the Packrafting Outdoor Center in Costa Rica. He's a cool dude, creator, and an awesome paddler. Give me 1 second. We'll get him live on here and get it going. Thanks. 1 sec. Yo, yo.
Hi there. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Andrew?
How's it going, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. This is Luigi on the left and Tom on the right. These are the guys from the Packrafting Outdoor Center. Just give you a quick background on where they're at and what they do. Packrafting Outdoor Center Outfitters is located in the center of Turrialba. It's one of the best kept secret rafting towns you'll find anywhere in the world. The lodge at the Packrafting Outdoor Center is located on the Packwari River. That's listed by National Geographic as one of the top 3 most scenic rivers on the planet, and it definitely is. I've been there myself. These guys hosted me a few months back, and we had a hell of a time. You know, the lodge is built for education, student tours, adventure travelers. This is a really remote eco lodge occupying a very unique location in the rainforest with some of the sickest views of the river and the mountains and the jungle in Costa Rica. So I met Tom personally at a paddle sports retailer this past year. He just came up to the booth. We started talking smack and eventually picked up a pack raft, brought it down to Costa Rica. And eventually we just slowly, gradually build the commercial side and the idea of what we're trying to do with the commercial pack rafting operations this year. I made a visit down there. We had a good time. Hello. Hey guys, sorry about that. Made a visit down there. We had a good time. And after that, we met we'll get into the visit too. There's a lot of good stories about it. Me falling out of the boat, them chasing me down. And you know, we met again at the AOR conference this year and had a pretty cold paddle down the Spokane River. And they actually bring our dealers down there. We had one of our dealers from Lake Powell, Bill Ennis at Dig Paddle Sports. They actually take their tours down to Costa Rica as well. So what we're trying to do with the pack raft world is kind of, you know, connect the dots with everybody. Make everyone, you know, we're a brand, but these guys are the commercial ops that keep us moving forward as we grow the pack rafting commercial market. So I'm going to turn it over to Tom, and he can get into a little bit about what they do, where they're at, and his history. Tom, what's up, man?
Hey, Andrew. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
You know, it's great to be here. Part of doing what you're doing what Kokopelli's doing, you know, getting everybody together and fired up about, you know, better days ahead, especially during these times. So I appreciate that. It's great to be here. Down here in Costa Rica right now, as everybody knows, as about a month ago, tourism completely shut off. So we sort of took a pact, the river community, that we weren't gonna run rivers during the pandemic, sort of as respect to the first responders and doctors and everybody. We didn't want to risk, you know, a possible accident or anything, and being one more patient for them to attend to. So right now we're completely shut off, but when we are on, as you know, we're all about having fun, exploring new rivers, showing our guests, you know, some of the more unique. I mean, we're commercial, but we're not as commercial as, say, some other outfitters out there.
Gotcha. So, hey, when did you start the business, and what was your inspiration or goal for starting the new Packwari Outdoor Center where it's at now?
The business started it was like in 2004. We started the rafting section, and then in about 2012, we were able to get the land for the outdoor center, and then we just sort of built it little by little. We harvest local wood on site, all local labor. Some of the guys you met, you know, Marlon, he was out there cutting, you know, limbering trees and getting everything, you know, built, and it's still going.
So guys, just so you know, Tom, besides just the guiding operation, they have probably one of the coolest lodges I've ever been to in my life. You're in the middle of the rainforest, and there's about, 12 cabins, 8 to 12 cabins?
Yeah, we got 9 cabins. We're on about 60 hex, which is about 130 acres. It's 600 meters riverfront. So we've got, you know, quite a bit of riverfront, you know, 2 different bends, 3 different rapids. And with the 9 cabins, we have like a main area, like a restaurant, great views, as you know. And then we have the zip line and the Tarzan swing that keeps guests busy when they're not on the river.
Right on. Cool. So quick questions, you know, like tell us about your team, their background and what they do and how they got there. How do you guys all start working together? And let me tell you guys, these guys are pros, you know, half the time I was down there. I'm not the biggest class 5 whitewater guy by any means, but I'll try. And what happened was I went down there a lot. I didn't have the best thigh straps for my boat and it kind of dumped out. So can you hear me, Tom?
Yeah, I can hear you. We're good.
So, all right, man. So
Yeah,
tell us
one
about your
of
team
my favorite stories.
Yeah, gotcha. Go for it.
Yeah, the day we met at the paddle conference, and I was like, "Come on down." And 2 weeks later, I think you were down. You took a red-eye flight, if I recall, from the airport, drove 3 hours straight to a put-in that we, you know, is not commercially. It's a class 5 section that we only run with, you know, experienced paddlers. And you were like, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it." And sure enough, you know, we spent the next 7 hours paddling, you know, class 5 rapids, and it was our real first experience of having like a fleet on the river of pack rafts. Before that, we only had the one I had brought down. It was the first one I've seen in Turrialba, and now we've got, you know, we've got a good little group of pack rafters that, you know, are all using our fleet, from young to old to everybody. And we've been back on that class 5 section numerous times. So
Tell us about the river, the Packware, right in front of the lodge. Tell us kind of the route and what you encounter along the way. Some of your favorite parts about the route.
the river here, it's a technical river. It's what we call a pool and drop, which a lot of you are familiar with. There's a rapid and a pool, a rapid and a pool. But Pakwadi is very continuous. So there's no long flats. Your longest flat is going to be like 100 meters. And it's like that all the way down for, you know, depending on the water level, 3 to 4 hours. So it's a river you never get bored on, you know. The only problem with it is being so continuous is that you miss out on some of the scenery, and that's why you have to do it, you know, more than once.
Gotcha. You get, when you start these trips out there, you get fresh fruit before. It's like pineapples, papaya, mangoes, you name it. All the tropical stuff. You get it cut up before, along the way, and at the end. And you get some pretty gnarly canyons, almost like gorges in there. If you've been to the Taos Gorge and paddled through that ever, it's a very similar to that in the tightest spots, but tropical jungle version and beautiful water. One of the coolest spots you'll ever go to. Some of the cool things about this trip that we did together, these guys showed me, was, you know, I think we did Packware, Rio Pejibaje, and, you know, some of the coolest things we saw along the way was, you know, across the river, I remember we were paddling, there were some indigenous kids that came out of the woods and they were jumping in the rafts with us. And can you talk about what's on the other side of the river from your lodge and the kind of the experience that you offer over there?
Right. So the river's protected the whole way down, but on the right side, as you're rafting down, it's the Quebecer Indigenous Reservation. And so you've got a pretty large indigenous community, but they're scattered out. There's no one big like town is what you would call it, or village. And the closest spot from the lodge, we cross the river and we'll hike up about an hour, and you'll get to the first little spot where you'll have scattered out thatch houses. And they still live pretty primitive, you know, no access with vehicles, no electricity. A lot of them do come down, they'll cross the river, go into town, buy rice and do different things. But our lodge, part of what we do is we incorporate, you know, working with the indigenous communities, and, you know, in any way we can help. We help make the the trails going up. We do a lot of work with the school up there. They have a one classroom school, about 9 kids, and they're all middle, elementary, and high school, and they're all in the same classroom. So the teacher just rotates from board to board all day. It's it's a different way of doing things, but they're happy up there. I mean, they're living on one of the most beautiful rivers in the world. So
Got you. So if somebody wanted to take a trip down to Costa Rica, but either with their own pack raft or rent one for you, you guys can do that. You guys do custom trips. You could do the coast. Besides the Backcountry, what other rivers can you plan trips into?
yeah, Costa Rica is a great place to paddle. It's got flats and it's got a lot of white water. It's only about 60 miles wide and about 13,000 at its highest peak, and it rains a lot. So you have a lot of fast flowing rivers on the Pacific and the Caribbean side. The Pacific actually has rivers that you can raft out and you'll end up in the ocean. So you'll do like a 3-hour paddling trip on white water and you end up in the ocean. You can put your pack raft on the beach and pick up your surfboard and, do all that before lunch. So Costa Rica has, there's, I could go over the names, but there's Sarapiquí, Savegre, Guavo, Cotobruz, Chiripo. I mean, ranging in all different levels from very advanced to, moderate. We've had first-time paddlers take out the pack rafts that we have down here, and they love it, with these low water levels. And right now we're coming to the end of our dry season. So we have low water levels that a first-time pack rafter can run easily, class 1, class 2, take them on a class 3, and they'll do fine.
You guys do shuttles, right? Right from the airport to the lodge to make it easy for anyone that wanted to go?
Yeah, usually we start out, depending on what the client's looking for, their budget, their, how experienced they are. We'll do shuttles from the airport. We'll do the whole package from the time you arrive until the time you leave. Sort of like what we did with you.
Gotcha. So one time when we were at AOR this year, I don't know if you remember, so the whole conference is we just floated the Spokane River. It was like 5, 6 o'clock. It was almost dark by the time we got out. And then we were fully kitted up and we walked through downtown ready to go. And then we walked into the lobby where the trade show is going on. There's like 300 people at the bar and just show folks there. And we walk in fully loaded, ready to go. And the boats were inflated. We walk in the elevators. People are like, man, what are you guys doing? Good times. And then we hung out all weekend. So these guys are my buddies, man. They're good friends at Kokopelli, and we're really strong partners, and we're happy to work with them. So quick question on the cabins. What's your favorite cabin in the entire Eco Lodge? Because each one of them, guys, I recommend you go online and look at Packwari Outdoor Center online, and you'll see there's a bunch of different cabins you could stay at. They can handle a lot of people if you do have groups, but they're beautiful. You feel like you're in a big tree house, modern, like really sleek tree house in the wood, in the rainforest. It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah. Our favorite cabin would be Dos Montañas. It's the one that.
Agree. Thanks for letting me stay. That was a sick spot, man.
Yeah, it's sort of got the unobstructed view. It's the size. We jazzed it up a little bit more just to have one cabin that was we could use to spoil those that need, like people from Kokopelli.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. So I have a few technical questions for you real quick. What do you think is a better option if you're traveling internationally? First off, it's a 2-part question. If I was traveling to Costa Rica and bringing my pack raft, would you rather have me bring my TPU or PVC boat?
It depends. I mean, we've enjoyed both of them. I'm a fan of the Rican on the water down here. But the light, because the rivers are technical, the lighter weight boat allows you to get your line, regardless of how bad you read it going into the rapid, 9 times out of 10. But, I would say either one works. Just weigh it on. It's got to be self-bailing, but weigh it on your what else you're bringing. If you've got,
Gotcha. If you have any safety tips for people traveling into Costa Rica, what are the I would say the top safety tip for you to get into Costa Rica safely and plan a trip? Who would you recommend checking in with, or who would you how would you go about? Would you go on your website? Would you guys call you directly? How do you guys want to get contacted if folks want to reach out to you?
yeah, you can call us directly. We have, I mean, we're sort of like a storefront business here in Turrialba. We've got a office, but we don't get any walk-ins. You know, we're an online business that via email, via phone call, any of that works. And to touch
Right
on your safety comment, a lot of people see online, you know, you can read anything online, like with a lot of countries, but Costa Rica is known as being, you know,
There you go.
pretty safe.
Friendly.
Yeah, pretty friendly. The people here are great. I mean, look at Luigi. Look how happy he is.
Where's he at, Luigi? Where you at, man?
We're just waiting to, all this thing about COVID done it, to go back to the water. And the same way, I think all of you United States, they are like, anxious to get everything done. So we're gonna offer like really pretty good offers. Just get in contact with us and come to Costa Rica soon. The coronavirus is over, and you can fly out and have some good time.
It's an easy trip too. Like from Denver, you could go to Packwari Outdoor Center in about 7 hours. If I'm in Miami back at home, I could be there in an hour, 2 hours at the lodge, probably in like 4 hours total time. In through customs, out, and at the lodge. So this is a really easy trip for anyone that wants to get up and go. You could do a 4-day trip, even if you had 4 days or spend 2 weeks. It's an easy trip to do. These guys have all the right gear for you. You could bring your own, and they're professionals. Tell you what, these guys are I was falling on the boat left and right, and these guys are just cruising lines like it was nothing. So if you're in safe hands with these guys. So quick question for both of you. What was the most scary experience you've ever had in the backcountry or on the water? What happened there?
My personal one, and I still remember this, when I first came down here, I'm from Florida. I was in the whitewater. I learned whitewater down here when I moved down here at 20. And so I went rafting with, there's a section that has since been dammed, but it's a part of the Reventa Zone. And they had this one rapid. It's the sickest, gnarliest rapid I'd ever seen. And it was a keeper hole, like, just one of those ones you scout it and you're like, all right, that's exactly where you don't want to go. And we flipped in it, and, we were I was like, all right, this is it. We'll come out when we come out. And sure enough, we were in a raft, and we all started popping out. And that's when we found out, that rapid actually wasn't a keeper. It kept you long enough to, scare the crap out of you. But after that, they dammed. That was the one section of the river I wasn't too upset that they dammed, because it scared me. It scared me so much before that.
Right on. Here's another question. What was the best experience you've had working with your team so far?
Oh man,
fixing the tire in the rain that one night. We went to the bar, and then we left the bar, and it started dumping, like tropical jungle dumping, and then the tire blows, of all things. Yeah. It's like a mass that everyone's out of the car, and it's done. It's like a 7-man job.
And next day was crazy. It was insane high, the water level. And we went down.
Yeah.
But anyways, well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in with us and joining us and telling us about Costa Rica. Thanks for all the hospitality and the great partnership that we do have with you. And if people want to reach you, what's the best way? Give them your email and your Instagram handle. Go to
info at packwari.outdoorcenter.com or our website, www.packwari.outdoorcenter.com. We'd be happy to, set up a Zoom meeting, talk via email, whatever you want to do. We'd love to hear from you. Again, we've got some free time now, so if you just want to talk rivers in Costa Rica, we're always available. And,
guys, if you have any questions, and if you did miss that, just hit us up at info@kokopellipackraft.com. please visit our website. We do have all the boats available. And thanks so much, guys, for tuning in again. Next week, we're going to have another guest, and we will be traveling back stateside to talk about pack rafting in Montana. So once again, thanks, Tom, Luigi. Big ups to you for showing up and always being good partners to us. You guys have a good one, and thanks, Kokopelli fans. Have a good one.
All right, man. We'll see ya.
Peace.